I guess the best ultralight setup would be just
naked hiking.
Just sleep in what you hike in all day.
Gross. Well, an underappreciated piece or aspect of gear, I think, is clothing and how heavy it is.
Clothing is heavy, and people kind of write that off because of the fact that they wear it.
Yeah, but it's like if you really break down your base weight, you're gonna notice. I mean, obviously depending on time of year, but like clothing is a very serious contributor to base weight, and that's something like we didn't really start looking at, you know, lightweight or ultralight clothing, or at least I didn't until probably, you know, a year or two ago. But you know, we've slowly started replacing pieces of clothing in our kit with much lighter pieces of those same kind of clothing, and it shaved pounds off of our base weight.
Yeah, I mean, there's the whole argument too, and we have plenty of videos out there about, you know, clothing's cheap and readily available.
Yeah.
But if you kind of want to tweak some stuff and look for some more, you know, lightweight stuff, this is probably more of a video for you.
So we're gonna go through all of our favorite ultralight pieces of clothing. We did a video a couple months ago on our favorite ultralight pieces of gear, and that was received really well, and people gave us a lot of good feedback, and we talked a little bit about clothing in that, but we're gonna limit this video to ultralight clothing.
But what is interesting is that you know, a bunch of videos ago when we were talking about the 2018 season, we did call out, like, this is the year where we're going to focus a little bit more on clothing.
Yeah, we've already spent so much money on all the other aspects of our backpacking gear. It's time to tackle clothing.
Just tackle it.
Yeah.
So we're going to start this in a unique way. A lot of this clothing, Kevin and I share the same pieces, or it's slightly different, but we'll start with what we feel are great pieces of lightweight clothing that we both own, honestly.
And we're not using a formal definition of ultralight like we did in our last video. It's just clothing that we generally feel is pretty light for what it is, and obviously most of this stuff is super expensive.
Yeah,
that's just how it is.
And as usual, there's always lighter stuff out there. A lot of great cottage companies make some really ultralight, like wind pants and wind jackets, and there's a bunch of cool stuff out there. So I think this is a little bit more readily available stuff. And there's definitely some cottage stuff in here as well.
Yeah, there is. So the first one, these are our camp sandals. They're called Shamma Sandals. Shamma Sandals. They're actually running sandals. I got these like a year ago. I was just, to be honest, I was like scrolling through Instagram and an ad came up for these and I checked it out.
They got us.
And they got me. But these are sweet, and obviously with all this stuff, we'll throw the weights up on the screen.
They're about 7.5 ounces.
Yeah, they're kind of heavy, but they have Vibram soles. You know, you could hike in these if you needed to. They're pretty sweet. You know, they're great for river crossings. They're just comfortable, good sandals, and they're flat. They're light. They're good. They're quality.
Yeah, and they're about the same weight as Crocs, to be honest. But I think you get a lot more out of this sandal. And of course, you know, the whole argument of camp shoes versus not camp shoes. We like camp shoes, so just
most of the time, not all parts of the year.
So we're just putting that out there. Obviously, that's a pretty big weight savings if you don't carry camp shoes.
Yeah, no, F that.
So we've talked about these a few times this year. These are our Patagonia Airshed shirts. It's like a long sleeve, wind resistant shirt, which we've used a lot now, and they are fantastic. Yeah. And I was thinking one cool thing that Patagonia should do. Patagonia obviously doesn't watch our videos, but it'd be cool if they made this with a hood.
It would be sweet with a hood, yeah. God, that's another good idea.
I know. So Patagonia, if you ever watch this, put a hood on this.
We'll buy it.
We'll buy it. You'll have 2 sales right there.
Next up, this is a pretty common jacket. This is the Outdoor Research Helium II rain jacket. I still have an Arc'teryx Alpha SL rain jacket, which is a great rain jacket. It's a little bit heavier. You know, I was hoping, you know, I need a rain jacket for non-backpacking purposes, and I was hoping the Arc'teryx would be a backpacking rain jacket and a non-backpacking rain jacket, but what I found was I don't want to wear my rain jacket that I wear backpacking like to work. Just is a little gross. So, especially for running too, I bit the bullet and got a Outdoor Research Helium II. It's a great jacket. It's super light and it's fairly affordable for what it is. This is really common. You see tons of people using this.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about wind jackets. To be honest, we don't really use wind jackets all that much,
No.
but for the right conditions, they offer a really awesome, alternative, to give you some great warmth. This is the Patagonia Houdini, which is an extremely popular wind jacket that's been around for a long time. Very light, a little bit of water resistance on it too. A little bit of water will bead up on it. Packs super small, gives you a lot of warmth. And then just a side note, this is a pretty light jacket, but in terms of wind jackets on the market made by cottage manufacturers, this is a pretty heavy one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot lighter ones out there, but this is just a great all-around jacket if you were, in a high alpine environment that was really windy and you need to put something on and off really quick, and it's really light, and then gives you a good deal of warmth as well.
In terms of cold weather, head warmth, we got two options here we both really like. Of course, the ever famous Blackrock gear down beanie. These things are fantastic. If you're looking for a down option, go with this for sure. Andy recently got the Tim Watson special Zpacks fleece beanie, and I gotta tell you, it's lighter than the Blackrock gear down beanie. It's not gonna be as warm.
I don't know. I haven't used it yet.
Yeah. In theory, it shouldn't be as warm, but maybe it is. I don't know. But if you're looking for a down option or a fleece option, you cannot go wrong with either of these. They're super light and super warm, and we love them both. It's good stuff.
All right, still talking about cold weather here. We've got the famous Goose Feet gear down booties. These things are amazing. Goose Feet gear does a great job with these. I love these in the fall and early spring and over the winter. They are phenomenal. They're so comfortable and they keep your feet nice and toasty warm. And they weigh, nothing.
Yeah.
And they pack up really small. I'm the type of person that I want a separate pair of sleep socks when I get to camp, like a dry pair of nice sleep socks. And then especially in the winter when I want something warm, this provides a great option. And they're lighter than they're either just as much or lighter than
socks, right?
Like a heavy pair of socks,
Yeah.
and they're going to be way warmer.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite pieces of gear, and pretty ultralight, is a buff. We have the Buff brand merino wool buffs, and go with wool if you're going to get one of these, but we highly recommend a buff. We use it in all seasons, it's great to block the sun when it's summer, and then it's really warm in the winter. But definitely like a multi-use, awesome piece of gear is a buff, and super light and like nothing. I mean, literally like nothing.
Yeah, you can use it as a pot grabber. You can use it as a hat. You can use it as a sweatband. You can use it to prevent, sunburn. There's all sorts of great stuff.
It's a fan, and they make a good. I don't know if someone knows other companies that make really good buffs. Tell us. But the Buff brand ones always work great.
Kevin and I have become a fan of a type of gear now called laundry shorts. And laundry shorts are basically your extremely minimal, just basically, what type of fabric is this? Like an
argan.
Argan. So these are made by Dutchwear. This is just it's just argan, and that's it, with a cinch cord, or with shock cord and a cinch on there. And originally designed with the through hiker mindset of when you got to do laundry.
Yeah, that's where the name comes from.
Yeah, you're wearing like your rain jacket and just such a minimal piece.
I'm obsessed with these. I've hiked in them, I've swam in them, I've slept in them. The argan material is incredibly comfortable. They weigh an ounce. I'm a broken record because I talk about these all the time. It packs up to the size of lighter. Absolutely, if you're looking for a good pair of all-around camp shorts or just backcountry shorts, get those.
Yeah, we use these for situations where you get to camp at the end of the day, you're all nasty and gross, and you just want to, or your regular hiking clothing is soaking wet or dirty. You can slip on these laundry shorts. They weigh an ounce. Great for all-around.
Those are legitimately ultralight item.
Yeah, so these are the Dutchwear ones, and you have the
Luke's ultralight ones. Yeah. Can't go wrong with either of them. The last item of clothing we're going to talk about are the down jackets we use.
You couldn't talk about lightweight gear or lightweight
without
clothes
talking about down jackets.
Without puffies, yeah.
Puffies. So my puffy that I've been using for many years now it's very popular. It's the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisper jacket. It's awesome. I wouldn't pay full price for it. If I had to buy another puffy jacket, I might get with something like Andy's got, but it's light. It's like 7 ounces, and you can wear this thing with just a t-shirt into the 40s probably. You know, it's not super heavy winter, but if you threw a shell on top of it or a shell under it, it can get you there. But you know, it's incredibly compressible. It's fairly durable for how light it is, and you can buy these on sale all the time. So I'm gonna wear it until it wears out. But that's mine, the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer. It's very popular. Tons of people have it.
Yeah, mine's just a Montbell down sweater. Very lightweight. Montbell's very popular.
It's a good brand.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out Montbell, make sure you check them out. I mean, super minimalist, no pockets, no hood, just a front zipper. Again, this is gonna be like your 3-season puffy jacket. It's not gonna keep you super toasty warm in the winter unless you layer it with like a shell and maybe some, you know, base layer underneath it. But it does a great job for your cold spring days and your cold fall nights. And yeah, I've definitely worn it in the winter and layered it, but it's so light and it packs down to so small too. So yeah, we couldn't talk about all this lightweight clothing without mentioning the puffies.
I will say, Andy will probably agree with this. It's worth like a ½ ounce or an ounce to have a hood and pockets.
Yeah,
hood especially, because if you have a hood in this, you don't necessarily need to bring a beanie.
Yeah, hood and pockets is very helpful, and my next puffy will have a hood in pockets. So,
well, that's it. Those are ultralight clothing we use. Yeah, you know, we kind of talked about it, and we have a video that goes through all of our clothing, not just the ultralight stuff. But clothing is something we're really working on this year, and it's a good way. It's not a cheap way, but it's a good way to literally cut pounds off of your base weight, I think. Yeah. So that's it. Thanks for watching. You know, let us know your ultralight clothing and flame on.
Yeah.